I think that one of the other things that we could speak about with relationship with food and like things in general is alcohol. I think that is the one where I really am starting to maybe label that as a bad thing now. So what would you say to that?
Oh, interesting. So my PhD is also looking into alcohol.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it's that crossover. And I think with alcohol, it's different from foods. I think with that sense that food is everywhere and it's always going to be everywhere and you need to eat it. You don't need to eat alcohol. You don't need to eat alcohol. You also don't need to drink alcohol.
You could try and eat alcohol. It'd be quite a funny video, I think. Yeah,
it's great on Christmas cake though. But it's not there in the same way. So I don't think it necessarily has to have that same equal footing. I remember we spoke about it briefly actually on our last podcast. And I said that I don't do food rules for me because I find them really not that helpful. And I still stand by that. I don't think it's necessarily helpful for me. That doesn't mean it's helpful for anyone else. I think it very much depends on the individual about how it is to have those blanket rules. But I think when you have those blanket rules, that's when you can lead to that binging where it puts it on a pedestal, or that like, if I think I'm never going to have it again, that means this will be the last time that I have it. You're increasing that likelihood. Whereas actually, if it's I don't actually think I need it, and you can challenge yourself and be like, maybe not for the next few weeks, but if you have this, never ever again am I drinking this, if you find yourself in a situation, you are probably more likely to binge. So it's that kind of, I don't necessarily think it's the same way as looking at food as like that broadness.
Also, it could be quite detrimental to look at it as a complete black and white
exactly.
yes or no.
Yeah, it's still, we're not putting that complete binary rule on it, but recognizing that actually maybe when we're looking at the cake and the things that you can get from the cake, maybe there is less benefits that you do get from the alcohol, and thinking about it on that broader sense of, is it worth it, and kind of weighing up what is helpful for you in that moment. But you still don't have to put that black and white, I'm never drinking again rule, unless that's really helpful.
It's really
for you,
interesting,
especially in terms of like recovery.
Really interesting. And I think it's one of the most, I don't know, there's definitely a change in the market as well with all of the 0% drinks that are coming out now as well. And just touching on that last, I love to dive into your wealth of knowledge, like especially with I know you like to read articles and writings and dissertations from other people about all of these different things. A lot of the content I see around alcohol labels it and links it to like, is it 7 different forms of cancer or something now? Like, from the medical side of things, is this something that people should be wary of? And does that only link if you're somebody that's maybe drinking an insanely high amount of units a week in terms of your alcohol consumption?
No, it's actually terrible for everybody. And women in particular, breast cancer isn't necessarily known about as much, but it's still a risk. And it's not from like being alcohol dependent. It's just from drinking, significantly increasing more amounts of alcohol. And also women metabolize alcohol differently, and we are drinking at increasing rates. While men aren't, and the physiological impact it has on women is more detrimental than the impact it has on men, because the way we store fat and the way we metabolize is different. So we're drinking more and it impacts us more negatively. So as women, myself, not you, we do need to be more careful about drinking and the risks and things like that. But that is, I think, where it is thinking about what is helpful for you. So really, like, where you can have those more 0%, go for it, do what is best for you, and be mindful of the detriment that it is. But I still stand by my no black and white, because of the situation, the relationship. It very much depends on who the individual is. If you're somebody who finds that you're very black and white in binging, that may not be helpful. But thinking about what is best for you and what is most helpful for you as well.